All right. Another episode of Beyond the Usual. And Kathryn, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes.
I think we almost spoke with each other via emails, decided to say this is the format, and here we are, 4 weeks after we discussed about it. So, most times on this episode, I'm not giving too much introduction other than how we met. So I'll go back to we met at events. You come from a strong SaaS and venture background, and we met. I'm trying to recollect what was the
We met
first
at
event we met.
it was a Gwen event at Lauren's
Yunta
house.
and
And
Lauren's
it was,
house. Yes.
yeah, there was a dinner. And I don't think you could make the dinner, but you came to the after party.
No,
Or maybe you were late to
I
the
came to
dinner
the
or
dinner.
something.
I came to the
Okay,
dinner.
okay,
We sat far away, so that's why we
okay.
met.
So we didn't get to talk.
Yes, but since
I
then
get
we've
to
had more
shout at
events.
you across the table. And then we got to see each other again at another event. And
There was
now,
a glass breaking ceremony during that event. So
yes.
now I remember it was great weather with fire. So yes. All right. Um, as we discussed, the format is going to be simple. I'll start with a question for you. You can have a question for me. We'll go back and forth. And we've got 19 minutes. So we'll wrap it up.
Go.
Ready for the first question. So,
I am
Kathryn.
ready.
Awesome. I am pulling it up. Where's my question list? There we go. Oh, you have a good coffee mug. Are you drinking coffee today, or what's in the mug?
Tea. I'm a tea
Tea.
drinker.
Okay. It says get shit done, right? So
Correct.
my first question is getting shit done versus work-life balance. What would be your insights on both those terms?
So I actually think that getting shit done is directly tied to work-life balance because I think what getting shit done means to me is priorities and focus so that you're just trying to do the most important things and then you stop.
Some
And you stop to have dinner, you stop to spend time with your family, you stop to sleep, stop to whatever are the other things in your life. And I think it's easy to fall into the trap of hustle culture or being a work martyr or just like I feel like I need to be working to show that I'm working or do more. And I think being able to know when it's enough or just know that there's still more, there's infinite amount of work and just know that you can save it for tomorrow, or if it isn't important, it doesn't need to get done. And I think that's how I try to do those things. It's never perfect, but it's something that I'm always really conscious of and intentional about.
So compartmentalizing and picking your priorities. You're not going to get 100 things done, but be happy with the 5 and pick your 5.
Do the most important 5.
So thank you so much.
Okay.
Awesome.
Here's my question for you. And you know that I love all types of founders. I love to hear the stories of how people got started. So how did you start BotSplash? Why did you start BotSplash?
So the idea of BotSplash had begun a year and a half, even before I went full time into it. It was more of like, let's get something done, let's do something. It I would iterate it to 3 reasons. One, the itch of doing something more than the full-time job. Like I was doing it, I was in control of it, if I can say, how I balance it. The other thing was I could see the emergence of messaging, whether it was through Facebook messaging, through texting, just different ways how people interact. And I wanted to tie the communications aspect of it with business and consumers. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how it got started as a small project. And third, mainly was there were certain situations, personal, with friends, family, work, that made me feel like I had to remove myself from the full-time role that I was doing and go
Mm-hmm.
full completely into BotSplash and see, can I make it survive, or do I run it to the grave? If so, I'll find another full-time job and come back. So it was more of that third option was like, what happens if Aru does not have a full-time job, pick something and decides to take it? Will it sustain? Will it fail? It was more like a test of, am I competent? What can I do? What are my limits? How far can I go? So that was the thought behind it. Just the story of why SAS. It was my second attempt. The first one was put together as a small application when my daughter was 3, 5 years old. We didn't like the apps that they had for kids. So we put together a mobile app where parents could set up their own questions. So I think that aspect told me SAS is something to go after. Okay.
Yay, I love it.
Thank you. So here's your next question. You have always, and I mean it, like you take tremendous effort and presence, put yourself out there to empower entrepreneurs. Why do you feel there is a need to address these entrepreneurs, and what are different ways that you're doing it?
Okay, so if you take two people, equally smart, equally hardworking, recent college graduates, and one of them you give a coach on how to do a job interview. Here's some practice questions. Let me tell you what somebody's looking for. The other one you just send into the job interview with no prep. Who's going to do better? The person with the prep, right?
Absolutely.
And so
Yep.
I feel like there is a lot of mystery around the venture world, around entrepreneurship. Like people are interested, but they don't know. And so I really want to help people, give them the insider information, because I think that there's a lot of times people don't know how something works, and it puts them at a disadvantage when they're incredibly smart and talented and hardworking. And so they just need a little bit of a roadmap or some cheat codes or, an inside look. And so that is why, like specifically, like that's what I'm trying to do in the world of venture. The other piece is like, why entrepreneurship? I think entrepreneurship is so powerful because it is creative in the world, like it's additive to the world. So you could have anybody can be an entrepreneur. When you're an entrepreneur, you're making the world better, you're solving problems, you're creating jobs, you're like there's so much good that happens with entrepreneurship. And I think that there's some people that will be entrepreneurs no matter what. They just are. And then there's some people that will never be entrepreneurs. But then there's a whole bunch of people in the middle that if you give them the right tools, the right encouragement, the right education, you kind of open their eyes to this world. You could have so many more people being this amazing change in the world. So that is like that's why I'm so passionate about this. And then your question of how do I do it? I thank you for giving me a chance to talk about my
Absolutely.
blog.
Yes.
I do a weekly newsletter. We're trying to do like very practical, actionable tips around all things related to startups and entrepreneurship. I have founder calls that people can sign up for at KathrynO'Day.com to just 15 minutes. I will help you with whatever you need help with. And then all sorts of other posting on social, talking to entrepreneurs, whatever it is that somebody needs help with, I am available and love to do that.
I know this question was for you, but I do want to add a few things. I love how you said the people in the middle, and some people will be entrepreneurs, some people will choose not to be. It is very confusing because I personally have had a few friends or past colleagues who've told me, and we're like, if you've done it, it should be so much easier for me to do it myself. I'm like, all right, do it. And when I said that, it wasn't like a challenge, but it was like, it's sometimes it's in the DNA. People think they want to be entrepreneurs, but mentally they just don't want to be entrepreneurs. They are more happy someone else putting out the day for them and saying, these are the 5 things you need to do. These are the 10 things you need to do. So yeah, I think getting that understanding what life and everyday events would be like is something that's going to help more people not make the things or choices that they don't want to be involved with. So
well, I think it's such a good example, right? Like you are a mom, like all the, like a woman, like there's so many, seeing that somebody else can do it is so powerful and so inspiring. There's a story about the 4 minute mile. So when Roger Banner did the first 4 minute mile, nobody else had ever done a 4 minute mile. Then he did the 4 minute mile. The next year, there were like
So
50
many.
people who ran a 4 minute mile. Yeah, because they knew it was possible. And so seeing that it's possible unlocks for so many people. So I would argue that you are doing more for entrepreneurship than I am, just by being an entrepreneur and being an example.
Maybe I
But
am. And I don't know, if I had found Kathryn 7 years ago and followed her, maybe I would have chosen the other. You never know. I accidentally got in there
yeah.
and decided to stick it up. Like, I think.
I love it. I love it. Well, the other thing that I've talked a lot about related to entrepreneurship is the importance of picking a big market, um, and how starting a entrepreneurship is hard no matter what you do. So you might as well pick a big market and go big. It's
A
not
small, yeah,
10 times harder to build a company that's 10 times bigger, but the impact on the world is 10 times bigger. And
absolutely.
so that idea, and so one of my personal BHAGs, my big, hairy, audacious goal is to help support $10 billion companies founded by women in the Southeast.
Absolutely.
You're on my list. I'm
We'll
counting
get
on
there. We
you.
have to talk. Absolutely.
But just talking about that, I've heard from women to say, I want to do that. I want to be that. I didn't even think about that. Now I want to do that. And so it's just putting out the idea of entrepreneurship in the world, seeing other entrepreneurs, talking about big goals, like all of these things help to create momentum, and energy in the world that is bringing us in a positive direction.
And it's needed, right? Like, many times we say entrepreneurship is very lonely, which is true, but
It's
you can
true.
choose to not make it lonely. So yes, we've got
Yes.
to talk.
Yes. You can have friends. You can have
You can
friends that
have
are
friends.
entrepreneurs.
Yes, absolutely. So here's your
um,
last question. Oh,
okay.
did you want to add anything
Well,
more? Go ahead.
no, I was going to ask you questions, but you can keep asking me and then I'll ask you.
Okay. I did forgot
Or
the train of questions. Go for my
no,
next
it's okay.
question, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a great tie-in. What is the advice you would give to other women aspiring to start a tech company?
Don't jump into it without a network.
Mm.
Best lesson and the most hardest lesson. I did not know what I was doing. I did not know how to get things done, where to start, where not to start. I think when we met, I first mentioned most of the conferences or events I would not show up was because I just didn't want to take the effort of being presentable or putting on a something fancy and showing up. And then it's like,
Mhm.
well, they don't mind jeans and t-shirts, so missed opportunity there. Or the other times in the early days, it's always been like, if I have to meet Kathryn, do I have to buy her
Mhm.
lunch? Do I need to, like, entrepreneurship, you're living on a ramen budget yourself. You
Yeah.
don't know how to connect with people or and from the other side, I get it, right? I'm taking Kathryn, but if Kathryn's has met 100 people, of which two have actually been worth her time, she's going to get choosy about whom to meet and whom not to meet. That's completely understandable. But I think not having that network only makes it harder for meeting with the right people and growing faster. So
Yeah.
anyone that is out there, if you want to get on the journey of entrepreneurship, meet people, network with people, work with them part-time, for pay, free, however, volunteer, advisor, however it is. And the second thing, if you want to lead a technology startup or a company, don't just be technical with keywords. Know what goes into it. I think there are a lot of people right now with the AI trend putting everything as AI, like anything and everything. CRM, it's AI. Something else, it's AI. Dog walking, it's AI. Ticket booking, it's AI. I'm like, we don't need AI in our lives that much. Like, this is not AI. So the true experiences and solutions all are coming from people. But in the same way, if you're leading a technology company, understand enough about technology. It's going to help you evaluate your hiring, evaluate the timeline given by your team. Like, yes, I can do this in 3 months. Sitting with them, simplifying the solutions, simplifying what you want to get done and the scope, maybe they can do it in 3 weeks. So I think if it's technology related company, have enough understanding of the technology and make sure you can lead it or have people around you that can help you lead it. That would be 2 things.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Thank you. So here's my last one for you. Taking yourself completely out of the entrepreneurship journey. If you had to take one full-time or a desk job where you were given tasks, you didn't have to ideate, nothing creative, just do what is given to you. You may ask questions, but get your job done by 5 p.m.
Yeah.
What is there one job you'll be like, "Oh, fine, I'll take it up."
Okay, I have a few jobs. I don't know if these qualify as desk jobs. So you
Okay.
have to tell me. So the things that if I thought about doing something else, if I weren't doing this, what would I be doing? I love helping people be healthy and I love exercise. So I've often thought it would be really fun to be a personal trainer. I don't really care about the science, so that's bad. I really just care about like helping people be fit and motivating them and supporting them. So that would be one. I also love to organize. So I will come clean your closet. I will organize your pantry. I think that is so fun. Neither one of those things are desk jobs. The desk job that I think also would be fun, probably not forever, but I think I would be really good at it and I would enjoy it, is to be someone's like executive assistant,
Okay.
personal assistant, just like cranking through tasks, getting it done, thinking about things before they happen, like helping somebody else succeed, which is what
Awesome.
I do kind of now.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see how those traits and
They all kind
creative,
of like
they do. Yeah.
go together, just in different things.
I just
What
wanted
about
to
you?
hear.
Yeah, I know
uh,
this isn't the question, but I'm just curious. What is yours?
it would be something where I could execute faster. Like I said, right? I think for me the biggest thing is if someone has a problem or someone needs a solutioning would be my
Mm-hmm.
desk job. Like give me a challenge every 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
or 3 weeks, taking it to the finish line, cutting the scope down and trying to analyze what's the minimum needed to take it to the
Yeah,
finish line. I think something
yeah.
something of that sort. Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect because my last question was, what is your entrepreneurial superpower?
That
Is that
would
your
be the same.
entrepreneurial
Yes.
superpower?
Yes. I think
Yeah, that's so powerful.
I wouldn't say I'm at the helm of resolving conflicts or removing
Yeah.
things, but I think simplifying things.
Hmm.
Every time we hit a roadblock, or if it's something that we need to address, I think sitting with the group, understanding how we can cut some of the scope to make things happen, that I
Yeah,
think would be at least in our company and for us, that has helped. Because
yeah,
many times I hear bigger companies or larger companies than us saying, how do you guys get things done in 2 weeks, or how do you even
yeah,
deliver things or push new features out there for your existing clients and for the new market? Because they probably are 5-10 times bigger than us. Sometimes larger the people or the company, the more slow your work is going to get done. So
yeah,
I think people forget that sometimes because it's too many people talking, too many people being out of work, like just many schedules to manage, right? So to me,
yeah.
if there's one thing, I love execution, um, and seeing the problem for what it is, simplifying it before execution.
That's like one of the patterns that I've seen in great entrepreneurs is that they have the ability to get to the heart of the matter really fast and then make it or make complex ideas sound very simple. And it's a communication skill too, right? Like how do we take something complex, make it
Make
simple,
it
and now you relay that to customers, the team, so that everybody can have that like aha moment.
because I think over time we complicate our needs just in different ways, our needs, our desires, our expectations, everything,
Yeah,
right? Then you
everything.
realize a little piece of candy or a big piece of expensive cake still gives you the sugar kick you need. Like, go simple.
I love it. I love it. I'll take a piece of candy, thanks.
Yeah, it's handy and it gives you what you need. So awesome.
I love it.
Kathryn,
Aru, this is
yes,
so fun. Thank you.
I
This was
enjoyed
great.
it and we went fast on this and we have 1 full minute remaining.
Efficient.
Yeah.
That's us. Get
This
shit
is
done.
us, right? Yes, absolutely. Where we started, we ended there. Thanks
I
so much,
love it.
Kathryn. This has
Thanks,
been
Aru.
absolutely wonderful, and I
This is
look
awesome.
forward to looking at this unedited soon.
And then hopefully I'll see you in person in a few weeks.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be
Awesome.
there. Either I'll take the trip or when you come here.
Yeah, when I come up. Awesome.